Let's play another word game. This game is all about associations and connections between words. So, as you can see, there are some gaps in the grid. Those are words that are connected to the previous word and the following word. So, that should give you a clue. I'm also going to help you to guess the words by giving you explanations. So, let's begin with the first word. This word begins with C, and it is a kind of movie or film. It's a genre, and it's the kind of movie that you go when you want to laugh. So it's a funny film. The second word, beginning with J, is a funny story, essentially. It's something that we explain to other people when we want to make them laugh. The next one is a word that has two meanings. One of them is connected with stories. If you invent a story or if you lie, we can use this phrasal verb, but also can be used as a noun to signify the material that people put on their face, or in this case, lips, when you want to change the color or make yourself more attractive. The next word is also related to lips, beginning with K. This is what we do with our lips, particularly with people that we love or that we have affection for. And in many countries, when you meet people that you do this with your lips and their cheek, which is this part of the body. We also use the word cheek in a similar way. We add a Y to the end, we make an adjective, which is cheeky, and that is actually a synonym of the next missing word, beginning with R, which is also the opposite of polite. So if somebody is swearing a lot, in other words, saying a lot of bad words, you would describe them as being like this. The next word beginning with F is a synonym of very angry, and it's how you feel when you are shouting at people or swearing. The next word begins with N, and this is an adjective that would describe a situation where you're surrounded by a lot of people, for example, a crowd, and everybody is shouting and making a lot of sound. So this is the adjective that would describe that. The next word beginning with S also refers to a large group of people, but in this case it's a large group of people who are watching a sporting event in particular. For example, a football match. The next word beginning with L again has two meanings. One of them is related to match, because as well as a football match, we also have the match that we use for making fire. And in this case, the word beginning with L is the verb, the action that we do with the match. And also it can be used as an adjective to describe something that is not heavy, for example, a feather. The next word begins with W, and this is what birds have, what they use to fly. They're also covered with feathers, and also we find them on airplanes. The next word beginning with S is the device that you use when you get on the plane. You sit down and you must fasten this device before takeoff. The next word begins with Z, and this is also a way of fastening, but in this case it's for fastening clothing. So for example, if you're wearing a jacket, sometimes you use this device to close the jacket. Also you see it on trousers as well. We can use buttons, of course, but this is a faster way. It's also in the US used as a synonym of the postcode, what we would call the postcode in Europe. The next word is also connected with post, and it begins with B, and this is, or at least was, when people used to send letters, a place or device where you would put the letter, you would insert the letter inside, and then somebody would come along and collect it. We also use this word to signify a kind of packaging. If you're giving somebody a present, it's quite nice to put the present inside this thing. So the next word begins with W, and this is the action that we do when we want to give somebody a present or a gift and we want it to be a surprise. So we put paper, decorative paper, around the gift. This is the verb that describes that action. The next word begins with S, and this can be a form of extreme surprise, both in the positive and the negative sense, but also can refer to the sensation we get when we come into contact with electricity. So if electricity passes through your body, you get this, you receive this. We move on to the penultimate word, which begins with S, and this describes the device in your home that provides electricity for you. For example, if you want to charge your mobile phone, you get the plug and you plug it into this thing. Usually it's attached to the wall, and the electricity will flow into the battery of your phone. So the final word we have begins with B, and this describes an animal which has horns on its head, and it is quite famous for charging or running at people. So, did you guess all of the words? Well, of course, I'm going to reveal the answers for you at the end of this video, so you can check if you were right or not. So, that's all for today, and until next time, goodbye.